Okay, everybody, I'm glad that y'all here tonight. This is a very important webinar to ease a lot of people's minds. Charles is very fortunate to have the people around him that he has. Charles is an amazing businessman, an incredible owner of AdHit Profits. And at this time, Charles, I'd like you to take the floor.
Thank you very much, Ernie. Can everybody hear me? We're starting to get a pretty good turnout here. You know, I have to say that I have been so taken back by all of the comments that people have been sending to me, all the positive, helpful, inspiring words that people have been sharing, not only about AdHit Profits and about what they're experiencing, but just really nice things about Taylor and about myself. And I just want to say thank you, everyone, for all that you guys have been doing, not just to build up AdHit Profits and to build your income as you've been referring more and more advertisers to AdHit Profits, but also just as you've been building me up as well as just all the encouragement. So thank you for everything. Some things that I wanted to kind of cover a little bit is we have had astounding growth. I mean, I am just blown away. I was going to actually read the statistics, and I logged out real quick because I was resetting my browsers thinking that maybe I was not hearing any sound because I was needing to close everything down and start back up. So please bear with me as I log back into my back office there. But I've been really astounded, actually, really, and that's a word that I don't usually use, but it has been a word I've been using more of lately. Right now, live statistics, we're at 12,558 paid members. And I don't know if any of you have ever been to Moneymaker Group and taken a look back at the very first posts, because that's something that I was actually about to create a video about just the other day, and just a number of things kind of creeped up and I kind of took me away from that. But if you go to Moneymaker Group and you look at our AdHit Profits forum area, you'll see, can you hear me? It says froze. Okay, back. Okay, good. You'll see that at the very, very beginning of AdHit Profits, we really struggled. There's a lot of negativity. A lot of people that were saying, oh, this thing's not even going to last a week. There were people who were saying that this is never going to reach 100 members. There were people who were saying just a lot of negative things and saying that, you know, that they see this lasting maybe a few hours. But as you have seen, we're now almost to our 2-month mark. Almost. We are so close. And I remember when we reached our first month mark, we reached our first $1 million payout before we reached our first month mark. And I just thought to myself inside, I want to reach our second $1 million when we reach our second month mark. And so inside my mind, I was like, okay, I'm going to push this. I'm going to drive the traffic. I'm going to talk with the leaders. I'm going to talk with everyone that I possibly can to get this to happen. And as you might have been following along, is we've actually now paid out over $2 million already. And I was just feeling so grateful. I was like, wow, you know, we've got over 10,000 people involved. We paid out over $2 million within 2 months. And then just all of a sudden, just come a couple of days ago, we started to really spike even more than what we had before. And so now we're actually nearing $3 million in payouts. We are actually within just $30,000 away from paying out $3 million. And I am just really amazed. So I'm looking at this, and we're actually within $30,000, and that means actually we're going to reach another million more in payouts than I was expecting by our second month mark. And what that just does to me is I look back and I read those comments from those original first beginning days, those early hours of ad hit profits and seeing the negativity, I just kind of just sit back and just I'm filled with gratitude, really, of not just the people that have gotten involved in ad hit profits, but those who decided to believe in ad hit profits rather than to follow the words of those who felt that this was going to just disappear quickly. And I know that within those first couple of weeks, there were definitely some people who thought it was just going to die any moment. But I got to tell you that exactly, Luther, we have proved them wrong. And the way that this is working and the advertisers that we're having come, I don't see this as being something that will ever die. And the main reason for that is, as some people are wondering if it will, if advertisers will ever stop. I've asked advertisers if they, what their thoughts were, and they said to themselves, no. They will never stop advertising on ad hit profits, mainly because, and I know that this can kind of sound hypey, but they have tested out with their lead capture pages. They have looked at all of the different advertising resources that they have been using, and they have found that they're getting more traffic and more signups from ad hit profits than they have from any of the rest of their advertising resources. And that is just a testament that ad hit profits itself does truly have a real viable service, a product that's being sold that's outside of the money-making opportunity side. But in of itself, we already also are seeing that people are truly earning something here. And that the prices, there's a lot of opportunities out there, just like what Lois is saying here. Lewis, he's saying that the prices are lower, and that's true because, within a lot of money-making opportunities out there, you'll see, some ebook or something that they've got on sale for $1,000. It's like, wait a minute, is the value of what's being sold really that much? And so that's what I really like about ad hit profits is the cost savings, actually, that people are able to experience here as they're advertising and getting better results than they would elsewhere. And if you haven't yet tried out the banners on the website, I urge you to do so because I did that myself, and I got to tell you, I heard some of these advertisers that were telling me that they were having really great results, and I thought they were just stroking my ego, so to speak, just trying to make me feel good about doing good in the world. But I really was actually seeing some good results from what I was advertising. And, if you're trying to build something just to kind of give you some hints, because there's a lot of marketers out there that I believe could be getting a lot better results. And what I would definitely recommend is, if you haven't yet already, if you're building an online presence, if you're building a business online, if you haven't yet already gone online full time, get yourself a Weber or a Traffic Wave account and get yourself your own website, create for yourself a brand. Because one of the things that you'll probably notice out there are those who get involved in an opportunity first usually do better. And it's not because of anything special about themselves. They're just promoting first. And they're promoting something that's new. Now here's something that you really want to keep in mind of is how many people are promoting your website? How many people are promoting you? If you're the one out there standing out, you will attract those same types of signups into your website as these new people getting involved in new opportunities first. Because you would be your own opportunity. It would be an opportunity to serve and work with you. So keep that in mind. Build a brand. Build yourself. Get yourself one of these list builders like the Aweber or Traffic Wave or something else that you can actually then have people sign up and join with you rather than something that you're building. Because if you're just promoting a referral link, then what's going to happen for you is you're going to have to continually, and this is still, of course, any marketer is going to continue doing this anyway, but you're going to have to continue to start over and market more and more. Once when one opportunity ends, you're going to have to continually go back and continually rebuild from scratch. That's where having your own list or your own autoresponder, your own group, your own team that you've developed, you can actually now say, hey, look, I have gotten involved in this opportunity. I've given it some tests. I've tested this out for myself, And this is who the owner is. This is what I think about the program. I've been testing it for the last couple of weeks. It's legit. I'm getting paid. This is how fast. I mean, then people can really follow you because they're seeing you as a leader. Once when you brand yourself as a leader, you're going to actually see a lot better results through your marketing. And if you kind of plug that kind of a system or that kind of a lead capture system into your advertising on AdHit Profits, you're going to see a lot better results in your income online. And that's really what this is all about, is bringing in targeted people. Because, I mean, how many people go to Google and pay for AdWords? Or how many people go to Facebook and pay per click out on there? Or how many people go to Moneymaker Group or Talk Gold or any of the other forums or Monitor Sites, all these different places that are you're paying for advertising. But, I mean, how many people that are there on those sites have a photo of you on their banner? Or how many of these people on those sites have your leadership? And if you don't think that you're a leader yet, believe in yourself, because it's all about mindset. If you believe that you're a leader and you start acting as a leader, you'll start having people follow you, even if you have no one in your list right now. Even if you have no list whatsoever and nobody knows you or anything. Because I look back when I first started out online, I felt like I didn't know anything and nobody knew me. And I started to realize, I was watching a video of Mike Filsmay and realized I don't know who that guy is. So nobody knew who I was back then either, but I was able to grow a downline in a business that I was promoting at the time faster than anyone else. I was actually second place in a referral contest back then, but I was just a beginner. And I felt so confident that anybody really, if they just knew those types of strategies of building a brand, building your own list, and following up and standing out as a leader, you'll actually see a lot better results, especially as you show people how much you really care about their success, and that you're not just going to lead them into something again and again and again that's just going to fall apart, and that now you've got your commissions, who cares about their, you really got to care about them. And when they see that you care, then they'll want to follow you even more for years and years to come. So that kind of leads me to another thing that I really want to stress upon within AdHit Profits is being a good sponsor and being loyal to your sponsor as well. If you've been brought into AdHit Profits by somebody, I would recommend thanking them and sticking with them as much as you possibly can. Now, if they're not being supportive, then, I mean, one of the things that I've been having people ask me is, hey, can you change my sponsor? Or something like that. And I'll find out something like, so-and-so has been helping me, but my sponsor won't answer anything. They don't know anything, and they ask me just to contact support. Please, if you're a sponsor, show some responsibility for the people that you brought into this opportunity. I mean, after all, they are actually paying you in a roundabout way. I mean, directly, in fact, because every single purchase that they make, 10% of all their purchases go to you. So show them some kindness, show them some respect. And I know that there's some people that have decided not to follow their sponsors anymore because of that. But stick with your sponsors. I really urge you guys, stick with your sponsor, because they were the ones who recommended this opportunity. And if you're experiencing any sort of results or any happiness with AdHit Profits, then I kind of believe that you owe it to them to continually have those commissions go to them. I really just feel like that. And I know that there's families that are referring their husbands or wives and those types of things. Wouldn't it be kind of a slap in the face if your wife or your husband or your cousins or someone that you've been referring decided that they were no longer going to allow you to collect on their commissions anymore? It just is a slap in the face, because you are the one who shared this opportunity. So please stick with your sponsor. Now, another thing also that I mentioned just a minute ago is having sponsors say contact support. If there's a lot of information actually on the website, and especially as we're seeing right now, there's 12,000 people, almost 13,000. We're already halfway across another 1,000, so 12,558 people. Imagine if all of them needed help to log in. Now, I don't expect that to happen, but there are some people that really, they ask, where's the login button? there's some of these types of people that I just wonder how much are they trying to find the answers on their own, and how much are their sponsors helping them. And I know that there's people that I mean, especially if they have a lot of people that they've sponsored in, that they don't have the ability to really contact every single one of them and kind of give them this instruction. But I believe that each member is accountable and responsible for their own account. So as people have, said, I don't know how to list an ad on the website. Well, it's not that hard, in my opinion, mainly because there's people who say, I don't even know where to go. Well, if you log in, you'll see under the menu advertising setup, and you can click on any of the menu options. So there's a lot of people who are sending in support tickets that I believe that could be solved by just opening up your eyes just a little bit. And really what we're seeing is, because of such growth, there's been a lot of people who really want to have this personal contact with the owner or with customer service, and they want to test this out, and I don't know where all that stems from. And I think that, I totally respect that there's been a lot of opportunities out there that have fallen, that have crashed, and it's very difficult to get a hold of anybody and all of this. But we have a Skype group. Actually, we've got 7 of them now, and it's not hard to get a hold of some people to get some support, especially as we have our Facebook groups. What's happening for me personally, it's kind of insane. I never imagined this in a million years. But I'm getting about 300 emails a day. I'm getting about, hundreds of people sending me support questions on my Facebook. I've got hundreds of support tickets coming in, and then I've got Skype blowing up crazy all over the place. And a lot of the questions that people are asking, they just maybe want to feel that reassuring comfort that I'm there for them. Because a lot of these questions, I believe, the information is just right there on the site. It's as simple as sometimes how much can I earn? And if they just clicked on how it works, then they'll know that if they purchase a $45 ad pack, that as they click 10 ads every single day, they're going to earn up to $56.25 on each of those ad packs. I don't really believe that they need to ask that question, especially if they're deciding that they want to refer other advertisers. They're going to collect 10% of all of the commission. And so there's not really a need to contact support and ask those types of questions. And I know that it's important to get these answers, and that's why there is such a great frequently asked questions in there. I know there's a lot of other websites out there too that don't have very good frequently asked questions. They're kind of made up questions that nobody really wants to know. But questions like, how does vacation mode work? That's there. And this is, so that's just an example of a lot of people that they want to know is, what does a vacation mean? And to me, they can find that answer very quickly if they just took a moment. Because if you multiply through how many people we have, even if it's just 30 seconds, we're talking about days worth of support tickets if we took just 30 seconds, every single member just asking that one question. And that's assuming that it's just 30-second kind of question. I want to be able to give time for the people, because I'll tell you that within any system, and I've worked in customer service for 10 plus years, you're going to have some glitches, you're going to have some kind of, oh wow, that's interesting, especially as we work with 3 different processors. I know that sometimes as we receive payments coming in from Solid Trust Pay, those payments somehow don't get posted every single time 100%. There's maybe 1% or less that somehow they don't get posted. I want to make sure that I'm available for people who have real things that need help with, rather than just people who just are, lack of better words, maybe lazy just to go to the frequently asked questions, or actually just read the website. And I don't want to come off like I'm a jerk or anything like that, but I really want people to feel empowered to find the answers for themselves, because there are answers all over the website. Throughout the forum, we've got the common solutions to the problems. There's so many things that I love having contact with all of you, and I don't want to have this come off in a wrong way, but I really just want you to get your answers the fastest. And if there's already a way for you to get your answer, then please take advantage of it, and that way it gives me the ability to help those who are really, they've bumped into some kind of a glitch and they really need to get some help. So enough with that. Now there's also been some people that have voiced some concern. And what we've got on the call tonight is John Rock. John Rock is a compliance officer, and I don't know how much information I really should say about him other than he really knows his stuff. And he's got a lot of experience in the industry when it comes to the laws. He's worked with a number of different companies and has been there as a compliance officer for them. And I'm not going to name any of those by name. If he wants to, then absolutely. But as far as he does come with a very strong legal background. He was also a police officer from the best I remember. And what I really like about John is he's very down to earth. He's a straight shooter, and he'll tell me exactly what it is. You know what I mean? And I'll have him on here in just a minute here. But you're going to hear in his voice that he is one of authority. He's one who has knowledge. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to the laws. Now, there's been a lot of people that what their concern is right now, and I've been getting a lot of people, and I mean probably anywhere between 50 to 100 people probably a day saying, I love AdHit Profits, but how long is this going to last before it gets shut down by the government? And I can respect your concern because, there's been other opportunities that have been shut down by governments before, and it's because they've actually been breaking the law. And so who I have on the call tonight is John Rock, and he is amazing. I want to go ahead and bring him on.
How is everybody tonight?
So we actually, as of tomorrow morning,
first of all,
are going
just
to
one
the
correction. No, I have never been a police officer.
So, absolutely.
I've been involved as a compliance officer for a little over 23 years now, but I've been involved in the direct sales industry for longer than Charles has been alive. We'll leave it at that. What has impressed me the most over the last 10 or 12 days that I've gotten to know Charles, and we've had many conversations, everything that we have talked about, Charles has been very adamant about making it better for the members, making it long-term, making sure that everything he does is compliant. And we've had many hours of conversations, and I'm really pleased and privileged to be a part of it. So with that, though, I want to get on and talk about, because a lot of people seem to have the opinion that, is this real, and all of those things. And I just wanted to go over what the law says about our industry. And it's really pretty simple. There are basically 6 rules that we have to follow. But before we get into that, let's just look at slide number 2 there. And I want to make it clear what my role in the company will be and is. First of all, to protect AdHit's profits from any form of liability by assuring that we're totally compliant. And I think everybody on this call wants that to happen. And what I've seen so far and the work I've done so far, and I'm going to do a lot more of, what pleases me most is Charles wants to make sure that everything we do is totally compliant. I don't always get that from owners of companies, and it's really quite a pleasant experience. Secondly, my job is to protect the principals, officers, and directors of the company from any form of liability by making sure that we follow global compliance guidelines and regulations. Number 3, and for most of you on the call, this is probably the most important one to you, to protect the opportunity that's afforded to everyone who's an independent contractor member and all of the advertisers that are associated with AdHit's profits. Number 4, to ensure that the company, its employees, its members, and its advertisers are in total compliance with all federal, provincial, territorial, or municipal laws governing our industry. How do you do that? By working with you, the affiliates, and working with Charles, and educating members on the laws and how every one of us can help to ensure that compliance through education and enforcement. Now, if we move on to slide 3, let's, very simply, there are 6 simple compliance guidelines that are pretty much international in scope and that are enforced in just about every country I've ever worked in, and I've had the privilege in this industry of working in 19 countries, all over Europe, UK, and of course Canada, United States, and Mexico. And what we want to do is make sure that we follow those 6 simple guidelines, and I'm going to go through them one by one. So you may see some amendments to some of the terms and conditions, policies, and procedures, because some of them we have to revise to make sure that we reflect the guidelines. Why? Very simply put, because it's the law. And if we're going to stay in business, we have to follow the regulations. And there's no doubt in my mind whatsoever that Charles is 100% totally committed to make sure that we follow regulations and meet all compliance standards. Slide number 4, let's look at law number 1, or one of the regulatory compliance issues that just about every regulator in every country looks at. They want to know, and they dictate, that all direct sales, network marketing companies, affiliate programs, and internet programs must offer real products and or real services. I don't have to tell you guys on the line. I've been listening to some of you. I've been talking to some of you. And there's no question that AdHit Profits offers its members real opportunity. There's no question that there are real advertisers. There's no question that there are real services. And there's certainly no question that there's real profit sharing. Not many companies can say that. And for a company that is only 2 months old, absolutely phenomenal. Charles, you've done a great job. And, you know, I really look forward to getting more done. Law number 2, in the next slide, on slide 5. What regulatory compliance enforcement agencies throughout the world specifically prohibit the act of paying commissions and bonuses based solely on what some refer to as a headhunter fee, which is attached, excuse me, only to the act of recruiting of other people into any program. The AdHit Profits program rewards members based on their personal sales and efforts and on the sales generated by their team and their advertising. Commissions and bonuses are based on the sales generated through the company on a daily basis. Because, you know, if all we were doing is signing other people up and not moving product and not making sales, well, there wouldn't be a program here, there wouldn't be any longevity, but that's not the case at all. Nothing happens and no one is paid unless the sales are made. And the AdHit Profit program follows. And that's important, to follow the program. You know, I heard Charles, as he was talking in the beginning about, and we've talked about it on a few of our telephone conversations, about getting inundated with questions. And I spent 2 days going through the site, checking out the policies and procedures and checking out some of the most frequently asked questions and the answers and so on and so forth. And again, I've been involved in companies that have been around for a year or more that didn't have that many specific and pertinent questions and answers as I've seen on this program already. What we have to remember is that most regulators dictate that companies and their independent contractor members and employees must not make income claims other than the published typical income of a typical participant in the plan. Basically, it's unlawful for the company, its employees, its independent contractor members to imply or make any guarantee of income to any person they're trying to refer into the program. Making income claims other than the typical income stated in the AdHit Profits terms and conditions, policies, and procedures may be considered a form of misrepresentation in some countries. In certain circumstances, Making those claims or promises may even be construed as fraudulent misrepresentation and a violation of the criminal code in certain countries. Now, I'm certainly not a fearmonger.